Hello, 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 good people, and welcome to my channel. This is Happy, Healthy, Whole with Sharea. I'm Sharea Farmer. I am a licensed clinical social worker and the owner of RS Counseling and Wellness Center. Today, I am going to do a back to basics video because over the last few weeks slash month, I've gotten over 1,000 and something subscribers. And so I want to kind of go back to what started this channel, but also to give some emotional wellness tips along with on Wednesday lives about small business tips for the wellness provider slash therapist and consultant, because those are my hats. And so if you are new to my channel, thanks for subscribing. I appreciate it. I really, really do. And if you are new to this video and haven't subscribed yet, please like and subscribe so that you can get some information on the health and wellness of being a woman, a Black woman, and a business owner. And so where I focus at is emotional health on Mondays. I usually drop a video at Mondays at 12 o'clock. And then on Wednesday, I do a Wednesday Wisdom Live for small businesses around different tips that have made me successful in my business over the last 9 years. And so that being said, let's get started and let's get back to the basics. And so today's video is going to be just that. It's going to be getting back to the basics of understanding mental health. If you didn't already know, I am a licensed clinical social worker, but I'm also a practicing therapist, a trainer and consulting for trauma-informed care. And so today I want to talk about mind matters. Mind matters, meaning taking care of our mental health. And I wanted to get back to the basics for the purpose of being able to allow us to get back to those shorter videos, but very healthy emotional health tips that are really related to the work I do with my clients, as well as taking care of myself. So when we talk about mental health, we are talking about more than just mental illness or a diagnosis. Mental health is something we all have. So let's start there. And understanding that we all have mental health in the sense that we're impacted by our feelings, the things we think, and the behaviors that we have. And so every single one of us, every single day has a mental health. And sometimes it's doing well, and sometimes it's not doing so well. It's also affected by things like stress, work, family, all of the hats that we may wear. And so I want us to start with just understanding that. So I said earlier, I'm a therapist. If you don't already know that, I am. And I take it really serious. I love what I do. And what I like to tell my clients is that when we think about mental health, we think about it similar to what we might do for our physical health in our physical bodies, like going to the gym and doing certain things that around eating well and taking care of ourselves. If we think about our mental health similar, we could also think about how to stay balanced and healthy so that our minds matter just like our bodies matter. But first, I want to do a little bit of like a myth breaker or a myth buster, I guess you would call it, right? Which is that there's this misconception that when people talk about therapy, when they talk about mental health, it automatically means that a person has to be dealing with a mental illness. But that's not always true. And as I said earlier, because we all have mental health, we sometimes may conclude that that means there's a mental illness. And while mental illness has and is part of my work and part of the work that we do, even on this channel, things like depression and anxiety can be part of the conversation in mental health, but they're not the only part. And because that is such an important fact, I wanted us to first start there, because what will happen as you're working through some of my older videos or working through or upcoming videos around emotional wellness, I want you to understand that it's not always indicating that you are dealing with or have a mental illness. It also means that there's things that we must do to just take care of ourselves. So just like that gym example where I talked about, going to the gym, taking the opportunity to take care of your body, what you're eating and how it impacts your body, your mind is also going to need you to do certain things on a daily basis for it to be its healthiest self. And so our emotional and psychological selves need us to be well too. That's really what my channel kind of focuses on, is understanding that our minds matter, and that although it's not mental health equals mental illness, it is important for us to have a mental health every day that equals well-being. So I'm going to say that again. It is important for us to have a mental health that every day that equals our well-being. And so really sometimes our well-being is stressed, and that means our mental health might not be as good, which might means that we may have some symptoms or triggers that look like possibly a mental illness, but really it's our emotional health needs a check-in, and we need to do something to handle that stress. So now let's break it down. Mental health refers to our overall emotional wellness. So you'll hear me talk about well-being and wellness interchangeable. So I just want to make that point. It's how we handle our stress, it's how we connect with others, our relationships, it's how we make decisions, it's how we identify our values and participate in them. Versus when we think about mental illness, on the other hand, it includes a diagnosis such as anxiety, depression, PTSD, and so many other ones. And so really why I'm making this example or change or understanding is that I want you to know that when I'm talking about emotional health, I'm not always indicating that you have a mental illness. I'm saying that there might be stress you need to handle. There might be a connection that you need to create to help your emotional wellness and your well-being to be improved. There might be better ways to make decisions that are really about keeping yourself balanced, work-life balance, family and boundaries and setting boundaries. I'm talking about looking at not just mental illness, but mental health as a larger conversation that says that all of us, no matter if we have a diagnosis or not, need to make sure that we are taking care of ourselves and our minds, not just our bodies, but also our minds. So mental health isn't about feeling good all the time. So let me get that out the way. It's it's about how it impacts things like your relationships, your career, your parenting, and even how you show up in the world, right? So when you're thinking about or looking at some of the videos in our past or soon to come, thinking about how mental health is going to help us to thrive when we are doing our best at navigating the ups and downs of life because they happen. And because they happen, having the skills to be able to respond and to really think differently can help you to actually have a healthier, full, how about this, happy, healthy, whole life, right? And so it's important to take time to reflect on our mental health is my overall point. And I know that this may seem like a very basic and generic video, but the truth is I need us to understand that when you are here on our channel, I am looking at emotional health slash mental health, which is really all of our health, really knowing that there are things that are going to be chronic stressors, irritabilities, overwhelming, lacking of our energy and motivation. And that still doesn't mean that there's something wrong with us. It means that we need skills or techniques to improve those areas. So those are going to be the things that we talk about. I'm not going to get into today the common signs and all of those things, but I wanted to give us a baseline of what my channel works on or really focuses on. The other thing that you'll hear me talk about a lot is self-compassion and how important it is to start all of our journeys, regardless of which one I'm talking about, with a level of self-compassion and how important it is to be kind to yourself. If you can't be kind to yourself, learning the importance of self-compassion and how to demonstrate that self-compassion to yourself will be one of the main things I would like you to focus on when you're here at this channel, because caring for you is going to help you care for others, no matter what you're doing in life. All right, so pay attention to your habits, check out our different videos. I am so looking forward to making sure that my Monday wellness videos are now going to give people an opportunity to improve their mental and emotional health to the fullest. I will be talking about some mental illness along the journey because it is an important part of my work. And I feel it's a very valuable tool to have in all of our toolboxes so that we know when something has gone past just stress and a little bit of irritability, but has gone to needing more support from either a clinical professional or someone that may be more targeted around the area or issue you're having mentally and physically. For a call of action, I would just like y'all to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Take a moment to share any of the videos, go through a few of my older videos. I've been doing this now for a few years, and I'm so excited to get back to it consistently with my emotional wellness Mondays. And I hope that you enjoy the conversations. Feel free to actually request topics related to emotional wellness that might you may have heard me talk about, you want more information on, or you just are coming to the channel and are like, hey, I don't know if you talked about this in the past, but I'd love to hear your current perspective and or tips that you might have in that area. I am always open to giving my audience what they like and what they want more of. Again, thank you for joining me on this wonderful, wonderful Monday. I'm assuming if not, you're checking it out on any day of the week. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share. And I will see you on the other side, y'all. Be well.